Hello everyone, welcome to Fun to Learn. This is Aditya from Fun Academy, and today we will be continuing our previous topic, that is the French Revolution. The topics that we are going to discuss in today's module are the other causes of the French Revolution and the storming of the Bastille. So without wasting any further time, let's start with today's module. So the learning objectives of today's module are the other causes of the French Revolution and the attack on Bastille. So let's start. A major reason for the French Revolution to take place was an autocratic absolute monarchy. The French king was an autocrat. That means he enjoyed absolute powers and his will was law. That is, he could govern the country however he wishes, not according to the people. There was no check on his powers by any parliament. He ruled by divine right and was answerable to God and not to the people. This caused great resentment among the people of France. The next reason is an inefficient, corrupt administration. The administration was corrupt and inefficient. The officials were very selfish and unconcerned about the welfare of the people. King Louis XVI was the king of that time, king of France, and was pleasure-loving and extravagant. He was completely ignorant of the indifferent and the indifferent to the sufferings of the common people, and was greatly influenced by his beautiful and ambitious wife, that is Queen Mary Antoinette. Together, they wasted money on festivities and pleasures and emptied the royal treasury. The economic bankruptcy was further aggravated by the French involvements in useless wars against England. The rich, privileged classes, which could afford to pay the taxes, continued to be exempted from it, while the poor were continuously crushed under heavy taxation. Now let's have a look at another cause, that is the influence of the American Revolution. The French generals and soldiers who had fought in the American Revolution had returned to France with great revolutionary ideas and encouraged the people to rebel against the government for their rights. The success of the American revolutionists enthused the French people and encouraged them to rebel. And this was one of the most important causes for the French people to get encouraged to fight against their own government. Now let's look on a very important event. Once King Louis called for an estate general meeting. All the people from the three estates were present, and the king had taken a vote that who wishes for heavy taxation. The first and the second estate voted that the third estate should be put on more heavy taxation, but the third estate of course voted for no more taxation. Still, the third estate wasn't recognized, and a lot of taxes were again put to the third estate. This caused a very bad impression of the king on the third estate, and they were very angry now. So what did they do? The tennis court oath. On 17th July 1789, the members of the third estate declared that the third estate would constitute itself as the National Assembly of France. On 20th July 1789, the members of the third estate met at a tennis court and took an oath not to separate until a new constitution was drawn up for France. This oath or this event is known as the tennis court oath. Further moving on, the French Third Estate people just did not stop here. On 14th July 1789, a great mob attacked Bastille, that is, the state prison of political prisoners in France. It was a very much hated symbol of the Ancien regime. They rescued the prisoners and they were freed and they joined the revolutionists. When they broke this Bastille, they took the stone home as souvenirs, and this symbolized the victory of the people of France and the fall of monarchy. This event sparked the French Revolution, and therefore 14th July, that is the day on which this attack took place, is celebrated as a national holiday in France. Moving on, the newly formed National Assembly of the Third Estate now consisted their representatives. It took control over the affairs of France and it adopted the famous Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen, a landmark in the history of human progress, and by 1791 a new constitution was drawn up for France. So what did this declaration say exactly? It said that all men are born free and have equal rights. Everyone is equal in the eyes of law, and every citizen is entitled to freedom of speech and expression, religion, and a fair trial. This declaration was also adopted by India in the directive principles of state policies by its makers. Louis XVI and Queen Mary tried to escape to Germany but were captured and later publicly executed. Monarchy was abolished and France became a democratic republic country. Yeah, so we have come to the end of today's module. I hope you enjoyed today's session and you've understood about the French Revolution. The further topics will be covered in the next module, that will be the last part. And thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment for any doubts, and please stay tuned for the further modules. Thank you.